On January 16th, 2014, a game by the name of VRChat was created. It is a social game, usually played in virtual reality, or VR for short. Over the years, VRChat has gained many players, and within those players, many communities were created. But there is one community, amongst all of them, that stood out the most. Before we get into the video, let's see what the Shiba Squad is all about. Shiba's on VRChat, aka the Shiba Squad. It is a community that involved around a group of people that use VRChat avatar created by Pikapidi. They have been around for a long time and have had huge impact on many. One of the reasons on why it became so big is simply because many people liked the way the Shibas looked like and, well, their crazy energy and vibe overall. With that being said, how did it all start, and when did it all begin? In the early 2018, a person by the name of Pikapidi created a VRChat model based on the Shiba Inu. In order to do this, he had to practice and learn how to use 3D softwares, some of which include Substance Painter and ZBrush. Upon completion of the model, this would create a community so big that even he, himself, was not ready for. The first version of the Shiba did not look like anything that we have and see today. This is what he calls a version 1.0. He would later delete it and resculpt it. After that, he created a version 2.0, which looked a lot closer to what we have today. And as the time went on, a version 2.5 and 2.12 was made, which had few expressions and visemes. Eventually, we got to the version 3.60.5, which is what we have and love today. Upon releasing of the model, few individuals already were interested in having the model, and some even got offered to have it. On the October 29th, 2018, there were only 3 Shibas, which is what Pikapidi considered to be the Shiba Squad. After the model was set and ready to go, slowly more and more people started to join. By November 11th, 2018, there were 5 Shibas, and it only kept on growing from there. PD and the existing Shibas did a lot of photo shoots on VRChat, which was later posted on around social media. Many people saw the photos and were curious to know how and where to obtain the model. Slowly more and more people started to show up, but no one was ready for what was about to come. Before we continue any further, you have to understand the 2 key things. 1, not many people created VRChat models at the time. There were hyenas, which PD himself came from and was inspired to start a community of his own. There were best boys, and then there were Shibas. So it was very new and rare to see new avatars, giving the PD an advantage at the time simply because VRChat avatar makers were not as crazy as they are today. Secondly, in order to obtain the Shiba, you would have to be subscribed to the PD's Patreon. After subscribing, he would make you a custom Shiba and you would get into the community's Discord. PD did it this way because he never planned for the Shiba Squad to be a huge thing, but then more people wanted a custom Shiba, and it kept on growing and growing and growing. It all took an unexpected turn when PD was surprised at the amount of people subscribing to his Patreon, that he had to drop commissions and release the model files on his Discord, simply because he couldn't keep with the amount of people that wanted a custom Shiba, which, let's be honest, is understandable. This sparked a lot of good and bad things. It was nice to see more custom Shibas at the time, and inspired a lot of people to learn how to work and make VRChat avatars because of it. But people also started to create a lot of bad stuff which made PD angry, but since he released the files, it was none of his business anymore. However, as it later turned out, this was only the beginning of the Shiba Squad. Because there was a lot of Shibas, a good friend of Pikapidi by the name of Rectalbisk started to record them. He created a series on YouTube by the name of Shiba King, where he would follow the Shibas and record them as they goof around. No one really expected this to go anywhere, and I mean, after all, it's a bunch of goofy dogs on the internet, but to everyone's surprise, they got a lot of attention, bringing in even more people to the squad. Shiba Squad felt like a family, but one that was growing very quickly. It opened many people's eyes on just how crazy and fun VRChat can be, and with the Shiba King videos, it really helped the community to grow and become this well-known thing as it is today. Many people created fun and crazy public Shibas, some more funnier than the others. People's creativity ran wild, and so PD designed a virtual world specifically for the Shibas. The world is called the Shiba Paradise, and it definitely fitted the Shibas. Many people loved it, and it became the main room where all the Shibas would hang out. Besides the Shiba Paradise, there is also a world by the name of Shiba Woods, created by Toner Husky. It is a nice and chill world where many Shibas would hang out and have a good time. The world also received an update, making it much more polished. As the time went on, we started to see less and less Shibas. Why? Well, you have to understand that when Shibas were a thing, and all the Shiba King videos were coming out, it was the COVID pandemic, meaning that people can just stay at home and play games all day. A lot of people had a lot of free time that they can just spend it all on VRChat. But after that came to an end, not as many people had the free time that they did. And as the time went on, many new people came to VRChat avatar making their own avatars and selling them. People tastes changed, and so they moved on from the Shibas. Thankfully, the Shiba community was big enough and it had many talented people in it that kept updating the Shiba model when it was needed. It wasn't an official update, but it made people happy that most of them stuck to it. When it comes to the Shiba Paradise world, however, it wasn't updated in years, but PD is back at working on it, so we might see something in the near future. As with any other community, drama is sadly a part of it, and even if we try to avoid it, it sadly still shows up. I'm not going to go too much into this, as there's a lot of personal stuff, and there's a lot of it, but sadly because of drama, we lost many Shibas in the process. Some even ended up being kicked and banned from the community, and some completely don't like the model because of it. Drama sadly exists everywhere, and we sadly have to learn to deal with it. It's understandable that some people would want to stay away from it, but it's part of our lives. Thankfully, however, there is no drama as much as it used to be back in the day. If you've seen some of the Shiba King videos, you might remember seeing Glade. He was a grey-white Shiba with glasses who played a big role in the Shiba Squad. He helped a lot of people and kept the mood awesome and enjoyable for everyone. He was always there for people and would help many. The Shiba Squad wouldn't have been the same if he wasn't around. A lot of people respected him and loved him for who he was and how he acted. He would sadly pass away on October 25th, 2020, and this had a huge impact on the Shiba Squad. After his death, there was a funeral held for him on VRChat. It was held in a special VRChat world that is visited frequently by many from the community. Each year, a Remembrance Day is held in his honor to remember him and keep him known. Many people from the community would come and pay their respects, as Glade meant a lot to the community, and it's the least we can do. Many that knew him said that it didn't feel the same when he was gone, and it showed many people that how can you meet someone even online can have a huge impact on you. Glade will be missed, but I'm sure he will be proud of how far the Shiba Squad has come. As the years passed, many people took photos on VRChat. A world by the name of Shiba Castle, uploaded by Roy Wolfie, contains a lot of really nice photos and memories over the years. Photos aren't just an image captured at a specific time. They are a piece of memories and history that we can look back at and laugh and smile or just be reminded of all the good times. Pictures in this world don't just show you what's going on, but rather you can feel the entire energy from the photo. And it's great that we can have something like this. There are so many great photos that just show how Shiba Squad was and how it still is. I feel like more people should take photos on VRChat simply because of how much they can mean. If you are able to, go check out the world if you haven't. It is honestly great. And thank you for Roy Wolfe for making this world. So, what does an OG Shiba mean? OG, or original, would be considered the first few individuals that were there from the beginning. But when does being an original Shiba stop? Well, people that got their Shibas made and uploaded by Pikapidi would be considered special. This would later on stop, as there was just too many Shibas to make. They would also get special markings on their avatars, such as gold tooth, special collars, and animations. Besides getting special markings on the avatar, the OG Shibas were also given a special role in the Discord. We've seen many of them featured in the Shiba King videos, and because the amount of views that these videos would get, these people slowly started to become seen as celebrities. Besides the Shiba King videos, few others were inspired to start making videos of their own. For example, a really good one would be the Shiba Squad Survivor, made by Drowns. It is a Shiba reenaction of the cartoon show called Total Drama Island. There are also other people who recorded their Shiba friends just goofing around and posting it on YouTube. On the March 1st, 2022, a film was created in VRChat by the name of Shiba King Assassination. It was started and created by Evan and Rectal Bisque. The film was made as a last effort to keep the community alive at the time. It's about a Shiba King, Pikapidi, being assassinated and a whole wildfire started to spread on who did it. It is honestly amazing that something like this was and can be created in VRChat. It took many hours and actors to do it, but it was worth it in the end. If you haven't, I strongly agree that you check it out. Even though the Shiba model has amazing facial expressions and is nice and simple overall, many people have moved away from it to the models like the Tosca Shiba, which is an edited version of the Shiba made by Tosca. Why is this? Well, it could be either that some people just got tired of the avatar and have bad history with it, or just have found a better looking avatar that suits their tastes. The Shiba Inu model doesn't have to be updated. I mean, it's already perfect as is, and I like the fact that it has that old look to it. But after all, we are not the same, and some people just moved away from it. But that still doesn't mean that the original model itself is going to disappear. There will always be people that prefer it over the others, myself included, and that's what's going to keep it alive. The model itself isn't just a model. To many, it's much more than that. It has a much deeper meaning, and this is why I think the model is going to stay alive. By 2023, Shibas are 5 years old, and many people moved on to different models. There's still lots of people using the Shiba model, but not as much as before. The Shiba community is still strong and ongoing. There's a lot of really talented people in it that keep doing new stuff and keep it alive. The Shiba Squad is a community that inspired many people and showed them how much fun VRChat can really be. It definitely has potential and it's still going strong, with many great people in it. Shiba Squad isn't just a community, but rather it feels like a family, and it motivated many people in many different ways. Even though it's not as active as it used to be, it still tries very hard, and it's still around. With all that being said, as a person who's still part of the Shiba Squad and is still active in it, I see it living on and staying strong. But as we live and move on, the current stage of the Shiba Squad and how long will it live on will remain unknown.